During school hours, they're out.
De artista con su gratis.
All the prostitution is taking up every single block. They will be out with their pimps, and they don't care.
Jaylene Lugo is 14 years old and taking the number 7 train home from high school for the first time. With a Kirby doll on her book bag. Her walk on Roosevelt Avenue is a jolt out of childhood innocence.
I've seen teenage boys go up to the prostitutes.
In one busy spot on 90th Street, men are led downstairs to a brothel on a regular basis.
This is turning into a red light district in Bangkok. You walk up and down from the 70s all the way down to the hundreds. And all you're going to see are different massage parlors with women outside soliciting men. There's no moral compass anymore.
Pix 11 even found women sitting on mattresses outside a furniture store near 93rd Street. One of many scenes unsettling Jaylene's mother.
I grew up in this neighborhood. I've been here for 31 years. I was born and raised here, and what I'm seeing here today is not what I grew up seeing.
We have been reporting on sex workers and trafficking on Roosevelt Avenue for nearly 20 years. The numbers we're seeing now seem unprecedented.
This is happening during school hours, and it's even worse at night.
On a recent Friday, Pix 11 News saw activity in the 80s on Roosevelt Avenue, with one man apparently steering customers to a spot that was close to a barber shop.
We are seeing more Latina women doing prostitution. I think those women have no other options.
Some are Venezuelan, Colombian, and they are having their own massage parlors alongside with the Asians.
By day, Pix 11 News noticed a row of women near a physical therapy office on 92nd Street. The manager inside telling us it's hurting his business.
Because patients, they don't want to come in to do therapy because they are being harassed.
We spotted a surveillance camera over the tiny hallway where the alleged brothel is located, which had wallpaper on its door. Eddie said police shut it down several weeks ago.
I was happy, and then after 2 weeks, they came again.
The manager of a cell phone store on the other side is also aggravated.
Porque nos afecta el negocio. Los clientes no quieren entrar, aparte de...
In late September, Masia Lugo organized a march along Roosevelt Avenue, carrying posters in the rain. But she said she's having a hard time getting the attention of politicians. At one point, she attended a town hall run by the Queensborough president, Donovan Richards.
When he ended the meeting, I said, what about all the questions regarding prostitution? Because we all submitted questions regarding the prostitution, and they skipped all those questions. He did not like that I spoke out. He said, do not call out. But when the cameras turned off, he spoke to me on the side, and he told me this has been a problem for many years, and I was like, not to this extent.
Mayor Adams, come back here and start taking care of business. We need New York and we need Queens to start to look the way it's supposed to. And it's not like this.
Mayor Adams has told us he'd be willing to make a visit with us to Roosevelt Avenue. He has already checked out the situation at least once at 1:30 in the morning. But we explained to the mayor what school kids are exposed to during the day. We've also made contact with the borough president's office, and we'll have more tomorrow night at 10. I'm here.
Hey there, Patriots. This is True Outlaw Patriot coming at you with another one. If you've seen my last video, I did one on the mayor of Chicago, so it's only fitting that I do one on the mayor of New York. And it's really bothersome. It truly is. Okay? As you can see, what's going on, okay, in parts of New York. Now we got more prostitution, you know, as anybody can tell, these sex boutiques. The children are subject to this that are going to and coming, you know, going to and coming from school. And is brought up to the Queensborough president. Doesn't want nobody to speak up, you know, speak about it in a meeting. Mayor Adams says, you know, he's going to try to do something, shows up at 1 o'clock in the morning. It's like, why would you do that? The cameras are on during the day. Why'd you have to come, you know, go at night? It's not like before where prostitutes would just, you know, come out at night, okay? Just so they wouldn't get caught. But that's not, you know, that's not good enough. Before I continue with this, I just want to thank my new subscribers on YouTube and on Rumble. If you like my content, please comment, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification buzzer. Also, the video that I dropped yesterday, I got a pretty decent response. And if you punch in my name on YouTube, it'll show that that video has no views. And with the video that I dropped before that, same thing, no views. I don't know what's going on, but if everybody could just please, if you like the video, if you watch the video, give it a thumbs up. I don't know what's going on with the algorithm. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. All I know is that I'm getting more and more views every day, especially on Rumble. And it just seems like on YouTube, they just persist. You know, videos that I've dropped 2-3 days ago still says no views. But when you click on the video, it shows the views that I had, that I've gotten, I should say. Also, if you like to help the channel out, in the description, I'll leave a link to my Cash App and my PayPal. And as always, please, you know, spread the channel around. Let's help this channel grow and spread awareness. So with that being said, you know, Mayor Adams is a joke, okay? He's just a damn joke. Just like the mayor to Chicago is a damn joke, okay? Another mayor candidate that was supposed to be winning, I believe in Connecticut, just got busted for fraud, okay, voter fraud. So the judge ordered to have another recount, which is great. It just seems, and this is what I can't understand why so many people think that this is all a damn joke. It just seems that in the blue cities, these mayors and governors are up to no good. And the people are calling out. The people are screaming out. The people are going to town hall meetings. The voters, okay? And it's like they don't care. It just freaking goes in one ear, it comes out the other. They do not care. Because they got what they wanted. And once again, the taxpayer has to suffer. Okay? You know, I find it very hard that Adams cannot find the manpower to clean up this kind of filth from New York. But he's coming up with tens of millions of dollars to house illegal immigrants. Okay? And it's like he does it with such a bold face, thinking that he's doing such a good job. This video is not going to be as long as usual, but the next clip I'm going to show you, the next two clips I should say I'm going to show you, is very disheartening. I know when I was back home living in New York, we would see things like this that I'm going to show you in the next video, but I didn't know it got this bad. If you think the kids here that they're showing, it's you know, a one-off, that it's only happening in this area, you need to see what else is going on in New York with school children. Here we go.
Disturbing new report is out, shedding light on homelessness among children in New York City public schools.
Yeah, the numbers show 1 in 9 kids were displaced last year. Kendall Green takes a look at what's being done to stop this trend.
Those we see pushing shopping carts and sleeping on subway cars aren't a group exclusively battling homelessness. 119,320 students in New York City, a far less visible group, facing homelessness could fill Yankee Stadium twice, according to a recently published report.
What this translates into is 1 in 9 students were identified as homeless last school year.
Sharing in the Bronx, that ratio was 1 in 6 children facing homelessness. The number of students without homes this year is 14% higher than the year before, when student homelessness surpassed 100,000 for the 8th consecutive year. That report found homelessness disproportionately impacting students and families of color, Pringle adds.
94% of families in and Department of Homeless Services shelters are Black or Latino.
Data.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it real quick for a second because this really this really pisses me off. You know, New York has been a blue state for so long. I remember, see, I was born in the South Bronx, in case anybody knows or doesn't know. Okay. I've lived on 153rd and Brook. I've lived on Tinton Avenue, Fox Street, okay, Southern Boulevard. I've been all over. The Grand Concourse, Fordham Road. I mean, you name it, I bounced around. And there were some kids out there that were less fortunate. There was a lot of kids out there, but it was mixed. Black, white, Spanish, Asian, it didn't matter. Okay, it was diverse. But you're talking a long time ago. Okay? People keep voting these fools in. And in this day and age, where the city, the state is still blue, so many broken promises. Okay? Let's put it this way. So many broken promises have been kept by the Democrats. You know, I remember growing up as a kid in the Bronx, especially the South Bronx, there were so many burnt down buildings. It looked like a war zone. People said they would never fix it up. I mean, the drugs, the chaos, the prostitution, the gangs, I mean, it was horrible. But at the same time, if you were born and raised in that neighborhood, you knew who was who, so you could survive. Not the right way to live, but you could survive. I hate to say it that way, but it's the truth. But then you get older, you try to excel, you move away, you do what you got to do, and you try not to look back. Because you're like, you know what, someday it's going to change. And you move on, you get better. A lot of people do it. A lot of people still do it. A lot of people did it. But now, fast forward, people are practically begging on their knees what they want. The Democrats won't do shit. Mayor Adams, okay, is more worried about illegal immigrants, okay, worried about everybody else's rights, but yet he just lets the neighborhoods, the city, turn to shit, while still saying that he's doing a great job. The way he says, us New Yorkers. Well, let me tell you something, brother. I hope you watch this video. If anybody watches it, could send it to him. Let me tell you something, Adams. You are definitely not a New Yorker. Don't even affiliate yourself, okay, as being part of New York. Because you're a bum. You're a bum. You're a coward. You're a creep. You're a crook. You're a snake. Okay? But let's continue.
Shows the key to addressing society's cycle of homelessness is in the classroom. Students who don't graduate with a high school diploma are 4.5 times more likely to experience homelessness as an adult, which fueled the city's Department of Education to hire 100 community coordinators to work in shelters last year based on years-old data.
Yet, there is no plan after this school year to continue the funding for these positions. We think the city needs to come up with a plan ASAP.
A spokesperson with this.
It's funny that they wouldn't have the money after this year, but they've just spent tens of millions of dollars, okay, this past year alone, to find shelters, to give illegals housing, food, a pathway to voting. 800,000 voters that they want illegals to be able to vote. And you mean to tell me that you could only afford to pay 100 people to look after 100,000 homeless kids in New York? And there's no pathway to keep any kind of help or subsidies going? You're a damn snake. Okay? You're a damn snake. You should be voted out. You should be impeached. You should be investigated. And if by any chance they find anything, you should be arrested. Because you're a failure and you're putting your New Yorkers, my people, in danger. With all the crime, the drugs, the murder, the rape, the illegal immigration, the lack of jobs, okay? The laundering of taxpayer money, because you know that's what's going on by taking all this money for the illegals. It's all money that's being laundered. But let's continue.
The city's Department of Education shared a statement in part saying, although stimulus funding is expiring, ensuring continued support for these student populations remains essential. That is why this year we added a new weight to the Fair Student Funding formula that prioritizes students in temporary housing.
We have to make sure that they're connected with school, that they're stably connected to school, have access to it on a regular basis, and can get the services they need to thrive and ultimately graduate.
Kendall Green.
Well, how about this? And I'm not ranking on this woman here. I don't know who she is. I don't know exactly how she feels. And in my opinion, she's not the one that's in charge. Okay? The Democrat Communist Adams is in charge. The Democrat Communist Kathy Hochul's in charge. But they're more busy finding places for illegals and spending tens of millions of dollars, as you heard Adam say it before. Okay? That is going to be billions. And now he's saying that, oh no, they're going to destroy New York. So why do you pay so much attention to them? While New York City kids, students, are suffering. I don't see them rallying up to put them in, 5-star hotels. I don't see them making them tent cities for them, their families. Who knows what the situation is? I don't see them getting checks from the government the way Chicago is giving families of illegals up to $9,000 a month. $9,000. That number has been ringing in my head for days since I heard the story. There are people living on less than $2,000 a month. And I think I've covered that already, but I'm not going to go down that hole right now. So this is what is going on in New York. Now, Mayor Adams, he's on his way to D.C. For what? Only God knows. He's got a city in chaos. He's got tens of thousands of illegal migrants coming in every day. And he's on his way to go meet with Senile Joe, good old Uncle Joe. For what? For more money to bail out? Or I should say more money to launder? Pretend you're putting it all to good use in New York? In case anybody wonders, these Democrats, they really know how to get the people's vote. They know how to get their money. but they also know how to divert and keep those broken promises. They truly do. You know, the next clip I'm going to show you probably will explain it a little better. Here we go.
Now to breaking news out of Brooklyn, where FBI agents raided the home of the campaign consultant and top fundraiser for Mayor Eric Adams.
Yeah, this is Mayor Adams was expected to meet with White House officials today about the ongoing migrant crisis. Pix 7 Jenny Caldwell is live for us in Crown Heights outside that home.
Did you guys just catch that? Just quickly, I might as well cut it now. Mayor Adams, campaign manager, something's going on now with the FBI. The house was raided. Mayor Adams was headed to D.C. to speak with the White House about the migrant situation. Not about the homeless school kids in New York. Not about the prostitution that's going on in Brooklyn and in Queens, all in the broad daylight in the street. Okay? Not about the crime. Okay? Not about the people that can barely make ends meet. Not about getting more jobs. Not about lowering taxes. All right? Not about giving subsidies to people that can't really make it and need to pay rent. You know, the taxpayers, the New Yorkers, as he says it. Did he care so much about us New Yorkers? Like the freaking schmuck that he is when he says it, he sounds like a freaking jackass. No, he's not going to D.C. for that. No, while his homegirl, they're raiding her house. He was on his way to D.C. to talk to good old Joe, once again, about the migrant crisis. What were you going to say, Adams? What are you going to talk to Joe about? You need more? You need more money? You need more migrants in New York? Because you sure as hell ain't going to go over there to tell them to close down the damn border. Or let's save some money and just, let's send I don't know, 90% of them back. No, you're not going to talk about that. So you're going all the way to D.C. to talk about the illegal migration, knowing what the answer is to that. But you have no answers to what's really hurting your constituents, my people. Okay? My fellow New Yorkers, not yours. Because if you freaking cared, you wouldn't be such a jackass like the mayor of Chicago in putting illegal migrants before your constituents that voted you in. But let's continue.
Home with what we know at this hour. Janine.
Yeah, well, the mayor's trip to D.C. was highly anticipated as he was set to discuss the migrant crisis here in New York, something he has repeatedly spoken out about that the city has been struggling with. Now, when that meeting was canceled, it raised eyebrows for many. And right now, we know that this home behind me on Lincoln Place, where his campaign coordinator lives, was raided around 9 this morning. Now, this is cell phone video shot by a neighbor appearing to show FBI agents leaving the home and one of them even carrying a box. Now, based on what we gathered, it appears this is the home of Brianna Suggs, who is tied to the Adams election campaign. We know that she's worked closely with Adams since at least 2017 when he was Brooklyn Borough president. She later joined his mayoral campaign and helped him raise more than $18 million for his primary and general elections, according to her LinkedIn profile.
She helped him raise $18 million in order for him to become mayor. You know, I wonder if Alvin Bragg and the rest of them, district attorneys and all that, I wonder if they're going to do an investigation on this. I mean, FBI did come out the house with a box. Sounds eerily familiar. I don't know, there was this guy that he had a nickname, the Orange Man. What was his name? Who did? Oh, that's right, Trump. That's right, yeah. You all went after him. Are you going to go after Adams now and his campaign manager? Or you're just going to be freaking hypocrites as usual? Let's continue.
Neighbor who was here when the raid happened tells us he knows the family very well and is shocked to see this happen.
Well, you know, I came out the house and I saw, you know, windbreakers, the FBI logo on it, and, you know, it really was like shocking, you know, to see that on this block. The family is a very good family. The family is, I mean, tremendous family. I mean, you never expect to see the FBI going to their house.
Now, a spokesperson for the mayor's campaign team says the campaign has always held itself to the highest standards. The campaign will, of course, comply with any inquiries as appropriate. And we have reached out to the FBI for more information on why this raid happened, but we are still waiting to hear back. We also reached out to City Hall, to the mayor's press team. A spokesperson for the mayor tells us that Adams heard of an issue related to the campaign and wanted to get back to New York as quickly as possible, as he takes these issues very seriously. That's the latest here in Crown Heights.
Yeah, he needed to rush his ass back, his happy ass, and say, uh-oh, they found it. Let me get back so I can grin in front of the camera. And let New Yorkers know that, you know what, no, there's nothing to see here. I'm on it. I'm going to take care of it. Really? You're going to take care of it? How are you going to do that, Adams? How are you going to take care of it? What is it exactly that you want to come back and take care of and say, you know what, you take these things serious? You mean as serious as, do you take it as serious as the homelessness in New York, as the drugs in New York, as the crime in New York, the prostitution in New York, the homeless school kids in New York, the illegal immigration in New York, taking taxpayer money and opening up facilities for illegal immigrants? Are you going to take it that serious? Or should I just list what more is it that you're taking serious? Because to tell you the truth, people, anybody from New York watching this, whatever, Adams is a freaking joke. He is not taking anything serious. He is not taking you serious. He is not taking anything serious. He is trying to cover his ass. And just like the mayor of Chicago, just like Gavin Newsom, Kathy Hochul, every mayor and governor in every blue state, they are running one of the biggest money laundering Ponzi schemes this country has ever seen since Joe Biden became president. It has cost American taxpayers in every state hundreds of billions of dollars. Corruption, illegal immigration, the crime, the drugs, I mean, you name it. They are dumping hundreds of billions of dollars into broken promises. Come 2024, the same thing I tell the people of Chicago, I'm telling my people in New York. And I'm from New York, so I can say it. You need to vote red. You need to vote red. You need to flip New York. You need to get rid of every crooked Democrat in New York. There is too much chaos going on. If Chicago can do it, and I hope Chicago does do it, I hope Chicago and New York does it together. Okay? Connecticut's lost. Connecticut is full of the, Democrat elitists, leftists, that whether they find out that the mayor there was trying to, they found fraud and they're going to have a re-election. I mean, Connecticut's always been lost. As long as there's rich people there, and in Martha's Vineyard and the Hamptons, all those crooked leftist, communist, socialist Democrats, I mean, we all know who I'm talking about. You can forget about those right there. But Chicago and New York, okay, two of the nicest cities that used to be, now they're meccas for chaos. People in New York and Chicago, you can't keep voting blue, man. It doesn't matter. Okay? Just like in my video yesterday, the girl in Chicago, you know, who said it doesn't matter. The buses are going to keep coming. Okay? And she's right. In my opinion, you keep voting Democrat. This chaos will continue. Adams came in as supposedly the savior of New York, that he's going to do things different as soon as he signed that paper and took that. And I'm going to say this very carefully. Because everybody knows you take an oath when you go into political power. So I'm going to say this very carefully. I don't want anybody to misconstrue the way I'm trying to say this. When he took the fake oath, meaning that the oath that he should have taken, it wasn't in his heart. So he took a fake oath. A fake constitutional oath. Okay? He lied. The mayor of Chicago that's there now, he lied. The mayor before him, she lied. I mean, that's all they do. They get your vote. Most of the votes are on the backs of blacks and Latinos. They're surrounded by corruption. And it just doesn't stop. My people in New York, you need to vote red. No more voting for the next Democrat that is the new, you know, knight in shining armor. No, bullshit. Bullshit. You all know this. It's gotten worse in New York. It's gotten worse in Chicago. California is lost. California is like another country. Forget about California. That is, and I have nothing against the good people of California. What I'm saying is, they are, I mean, they're just like the mecca of corruption when it comes to corrupt states. So California, they're going to have to, I mean, they're going to have something way different internally in order for that state to change. I mean, Gavin Newsom, he's out there in China. He's hanging out with Xi Jinping. You don't know where, I mean, I won't even go down that rabbit hole, but New York, Chicago, your time is coming up to make that decision. If you want it to change, you got to make it count. Anyway, that's what I got for you. Please comment, like, share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Again, in my description, if you want to help the channel, I'll leave a link to my Cash App and PayPal. Pass the channel around. Okay, anybody from New York watches this? Anybody from Chicago watches this? Pass it around. As a matter of fact, I know more people from Chicago watch my content, because when I look at the algorithm breakdown, it shows state by state. Chicago, thank you, and Texas, thank you. You guys watch a lot more of my content. But I mean, it'd be nice if New York would do the same. You know. But with that being said, remember, like I always say, because you have to, especially in this day and age, stay vigilant, keep praying, and keep praying for each other. Peace.